we try what we can. So basically what MOM does with MTI, MOE, is that you look at the structure of the economy. I think there's some level of projection, which I think you have to. I don't think you can just leave everything to chance. We're looking at where we think the world is going. We look at that. We look at how the economy ought to be structured. Then that also translates to courses in universities, the number of places, what are the trends, and then of course working backwards to your ITE, your continuation, education and training and so on. Okay. So actually all forms of education really is about training your mind, exercising your mind. You can just go through the motion, get your grades, do well and so on, but if you're not really exercising that critical faculty, I think it will be to your disadvantage. So I would say that actually the thing that will enable you as an individual and us as a society to remain resilient is that we know change is a constant. How do you deal with change? So the ability to be, one, basic values are discipline, hard work. I think that's important. One is then do you practice being critically minded in the way we look at issues. So a lot of us zoom in at issues. You want to deal with the problem, straight away go and solve the thing. But actually, sometimes what we need to do is to be able to take a step back, look at where everything is, make sense of it, and then try to identify what really are the high leverage areas to apply ourselves. So in the same way with jobs, you realize that jobs, is it an end in itself? Or is it really a means to an end? So I think the capacity building that we need to really is critical thinking. And I would suggest that you have that in your respective, whatever disciplines that you're pursuing right now. So basically, I think what I would say is that rather than look at specific skill sets or disciplines, really it's your approach to looking at things. And this is something that you can do on your own. And I would suggest that it is also not just when you're in university. I find that a lot of my learning actually was at work. It's about learning from the mistakes you make. In fact, I suggest that learning from other people's mistakes. Watching, observing, reflecting. A lot of the learning actually comes from observation. A lot of the learning comes from reflection and applying yourself. It requires work. So the thing is, and it comes with practice. The more we practice, I think the more we get used to doing this, and I think that also will help eventually whatever jobs that you do, right? So I would say that I think it's not so much a subject per se, but I think it's a whole discipline that you take, and I would say that the big thing is really about our own level of self-awareness.